It's time for To the Max Sports, where we talk about sports. They're just two guys, Max and Drew, in a bar talking all things sports. Well, without the bar. And the beer. Wait, why aren't we in the bar?
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Max Sports. As you can see to the right, well, maybe not to the right of me because he's not here. Drew is on vacation. Hey, Drew. There he is. He's enjoying himself. I think he's in Florida.
Yeah, so we have to watch out for a Florida Man Friday sighting tomorrow.
Yeah, so he's enjoying himself. So I'm here with Bob, and we're going to kind of wrap up the NFL season. Actually, we are going to wrap up the NFL season and talk a little bit about the game and then kind of do some predictions for the future for next year with that. So, Bob, what did you think of the game?
I was right.
You were right.
I was right.
And
I picked that game. and I picked that game, and it turned out the reasons why Kansas City won that game are the reasons why I picked them. Mahomes under center and Andy Reid and that coaching staff.
Great job coaching.
That was, and I don't know whether they had the extra time at halftime with Rihanna or they adjusted and the Eagles coaching staff decided, ooh, we want to watch Rihanna. And is that a real baby bump? Is she really pregnant? And that was all they talked about at halftime?
Oh, it was obvious. I mean, when you say that they adjusted and the coaching staff for Kansas City did a great job, it was obvious on two major plays when those receivers caught the touchdowns and they were wide open. I mean, how could the defense just F up like that?
And those two plays, I think, are what led Bradbury to make the desperation move on that 3rd and 8,
yeah,
and do a tug on the jersey, which that was a hold.
It was a hold. Yeah,
They needed to throw the flag. I kind of wish they would have picked it up and gone, okay, maybe not for this one. As a crew, they decided, but they left it down. And you know, I heard somebody call it. It's like you drive the same road for a year every day. You're doing 65 and a 55, and one day the cop pulls you over, and you go to the cop. You know, sir, I drive 65 and a 55 every day here, and this is the first time you're going to pull me over.
Yeah, I see that, and you know what's crazy? Even when the young guy was asked, you know, did he hold? He said, "I did." You know, class act. He did mention that he did hold, but that's part of it. I mean, you can either pass interference, hold, and when somebody made that comment, I don't know who it was that evening, or one might have been an announcer's about. I don't think it was Olsen, but they said that the ball wasn't catchable. Well, that's on the pass interference, not on holding. You know, at the end of the day, it was a penalty. At the end of the day, we go back to should Philadelphia have been put in that situation? They couldn't stop them.
No, you had a 10-point lead at halftime.
10-point lead at halftime.
And you had a really good offensive drive in the third quarter. So hats off. I mean, Eagles offense, you kept on trucking on, but your defense didn't show up.
They didn't.
The amazing stat, not a single sack.
Not a single sack, and people were talking about because of the turf and the field, how slick it was. Well, here's the thing. They both play on the field. There was two teams. There was an offensive line and defensive line on each team. They were all playing on the same turf.
I think the Chiefs had an advantage. They played in Arizona in week 1, and they pitched a fit about that field. So they knew what that field was going in. It seemed to me that in the broadcast, they were focusing a lot on the Eagles changing cleats and all the Eagles shoes, nothing on the Chiefs.
One of the questions that I had when you mentioned that, Bob, is Eagles running game, Eagles receiving game, the tight end. The only person that I saw up and down the field was Jalen Hurts. I mean, that guy played his butt off. Awesome game. It was one of the best Super Bowls I've ever seen. I have to, give it to Jalen Hurts. He played a phenomenal game. I don't think the rest of the team was helping him as much as they should have been.
No, but I mean, was he sitting on his hand that one of his hands fell asleep on that fumble? Because it was like, left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing, and it's just scoop and score.
I know.
That was his only mistake. He threw for over 300 yards, rushed for 3 touchdowns, threw for another one.
Yeah.
His stat line was amazing. Mahomes, didn't pass for more than I think 180 yards.
In the history of the NFL, I think it was Chuck Cowley, the only defensive player that won the MVP award for the Super Bowl, but lost. This might have been one of those games where I know that the Eagles didn't win, but maybe Justin Hurts might have gotten the MVP because he played his butt off. So
yeah, he did.
A good game. I'm glad. Halftime was good. Yeah,
were you thinking the same thing I was when you saw Rihanna come out there and to go, is she pregnant?
Yes.
Nope, don't say it. Nope, don't comment on it. Not at all. You're not allowed to.
Yeah.
My rule, unless the baby's crowning, don't mention it.
Don't mention it. But when she started rubbing her stomach, I thought,
oh, she was rubbing a lot.
She was rubbing a lot. Yeah, a lot of stuff. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, she's pregnant. So it was overall, I would have to give that as one of my top 5 Super Bowls. So I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much. I can't wait for the season to start. So I'm excited for the summer.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, let's kind of go back a little bit and talk about the 4 teams that actually made the Final Four. We talked a little bit about Kansas City. And we're going to go with the AFC, Kansas City and Cincinnati. What do you think? Do you think those 2 teams will be back next year?
I definitely think Kansas City will be. It looks like they're going to be able to run most of this roster back. It looks like, they're losing Bieniemy. He's taking an OC job somewhere else.
Yeah.
And a lot of speculation on why it's not a head coaching job and all that.
He's going to go to Washington, the Commanders.
The Commies. That's a good offense.
Yeah.
You're going to go from coaching Patrick Mahomes to coaching who? Heineke?
I know.
Whatever.
Cincinnati seems like they're going to bring everybody back.
Cincinnati still needs to figure out that line. That D line. I know a lot of that was injuries, but then figure out your line in depth. Have other guys. Don't put so much, because you're going to have injuries during an NFL season. NFL season is 17 weeks long, 17 games long. Yeah. Injury is going to happen. Your other top 4, just look at my 49ers. We were down to QB4. The guy that has set the NFL record for the most teams he's played for.
Is he going to be their starter next year?
Josh Johnson?
No. I'm talking about Purdy, and I'm talking about Lance. Those 2.
I think Lance is the starting quarterback day one.
Okay.
I see a lot of poise in Purdy. I see a lot of professionalism in Purdy. I like him as a backup. I'm a little concerned about his lack of stature. He's a smaller guy. He's kind of a Drew Brees kind of guy. He can move around. He's sneaky. He's sneaky. What's the word I'm looking for? Sneaky mobile?
Yes. When you say he's like Drew Brees, you're right. He's doesn't make mistakes.
And he doesn't make mistakes. And one thing, his trajectory during the season, I could see him mature game after game. So that was nice. But Trey Lance still has a higher upside for me.
And that's what I'm waiting to see. I think that's the right move with San Francisco. They're going to start Trey Lance, and you know what? Let him catch fire. Let him learn the game. There might be a couple of hiccups early in the season, but I think that's going to be the strength. And I actually have San Francisco to go back. I have them playing, again, the Philadelphia Eagles.
In the championship game?
In the championship game, yeah.
I'm worried about
Eagles going back.
I'm worried about the Eagles running it back. They have 15 or 16 free agents who are up. They have the Jalen Hurts contract to figure out. How much are they going to pay him? What is that going to mean for the rest of the salary cap? And they lost both their offensive and defensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. And the trend is NFC East teams do not repeat. Do not repeat. So your Cowboys might be in line, but that's a tough division. That's going to be a tough division.
It is, even with the Giants improving, and let's see what Washington does. So
all they got to do is get an offense.
Yeah, but I still have the 4 teams, and I think we probably agree to that. We have Kansas City, maybe Cincinnati, San Francisco, and Philly going back.
Yeah, we'll see what happens in the AFC. I think a lot of the quarterback moves, where quarterbacks land, is going to be happening on the AFC side. Though I think both South divisions, if you're any of those 8 teams in the South divisions, you need a quarterback. And those divisions are so weak, you can win. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. Carr, I saw a report about Carr and Carolina. I didn't see whether he had signed there yet.
I know he's visiting. Yeah, he's visiting. So we'll see. I think that's going to be the first domino that drops. And then after that, we'll probably see Jimmy. And then the guy that's in the dark place. I don't know what his,
do you think that the dominoes drop before Rodgers leaves his dark place?
I think they might. And I don't even know what Rodgers is doing right now. He's probably, as we were talking off air, he's probably with the Chavez brothers from Young Guns, chasing chickens around or something. This guy, we've kind of gotten to the point with Aaron.
Here's my comment for Rodgers.
I don't care.
I really don't.
I know. I think the rest of the league is doing the same thing. So
just make a decision. I know. Just make a decision. I mean, you've already violated the Green Bay Packers and that organization for as much money. Give him a little relief.
We'll see. I mean, I know that he's having conversations back and forth, but not with any kind of management or anything or official or agents. But I think what's the receiver, Devontae
Adams in Las Vegas.
He really wants him out there. So. If anybody can, they're not that bad. The Raiders aren't bad. It's not a bad team.
I think Garoppolo, for me personally, I think Garoppolo is a better fit in the Raiders. I mean, he knows McDaniels. He knows McDaniels' offensive tendencies, so I think he's a better fit from day one. Is Rodgers a better quarterback? I gotta say yes.
Yeah.
But how many more years are you gonna get out of Rodgers?
Hopefully, he can get 4.
We'll see.
But there's too many holes. There's more holes than there is quarterbacks because we got Rodgers, Garoppolo, and then who's the other one? David Carr. But then you have who needs a quarterback? The Raiders, the Colts,
every team in the AFC South.
Yeah, I mean, and then also Tampa Bay. I mean,
which is insane. If I asked you, is Derek Carr worth $40 million a year?
Wow. Right now, that's what the rate is. I mean, it's not that they're worth it. That's what they're paying them.
That's the second. I mean, that's the second part of that question. I don't think he's worth $40 million a year. I think he's going to get paid $40 million a year. I think I could almost put Kirk Cousins, Dak Prescott, and Derek Carr in a salad bowl, toss it around, and whoever comes out as my quarterback. And I don't know if there's very much difference between those three quarterbacks.
There's not.
During game time for winning games.
No, they're all the same. They're all cookie cutters. Yeah, all the same. Well, we're going to talk about fixing the quarterbacks and kind of go into the NFL draft. One of the things we're hearing this week is Chicago might want to trade to draft another quarterback instead of keeping and going with Fields.
Yeah, because the Chicago Bears are really good at drafting quarterbacks.
I think that'll be a big mistake if they do that. So the draft will be in April. So we'll have something to kind of, hang on to until April for the draft. There should be some quarterbacks drafted there. We'll see what happens with that, but we're just going to have to watch it. I think part of Chicago's decision will be made where the other quarterbacks are going to go. We just spoke about. So that'll all be tied in. Speaking of NFL, we do have an NFL team in San Antonio. XFL, yes. The XFL with the San Antonio Brahmas start this week.
San Antonio Brahmas, 2:00 Saturday at the Alamo Dome.
The Brahmas they're coached by Hines Ward. Is that
Hines
correct?
Ward, yep.
Yeah. And one of the things we were talking about earlier, Bob, is I didn't know this. Bob brought it to my attention that Texas has 1, 2, 3 teams. They have the Arlington team up there, and they
might be more successful than the other team in Arlington.
the Houston Roughnecks and the San Antonio Brahmas. Yes, that's pretty cool. Their names. One of them is the Arlington is the Renegades. Yeah, that's correct. And then we also have that's 2 different divisions.
Wasn't the Renegades one of the teams in the replacements with Keanu Reeves?
Oh, it was. I remember. Wasn't that guy wiry? The kicker?
It was wiry.
Yeah,
he was wiry.
Maybe they'll have a kicker like that. So we'll see.
What is it? Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Glory lasts forever. Yeah, so let's get excited about the XFL. I know you can still get tickets out there, guys. Saturday games and then Sunday games.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the tickets right now. Tickets as cheap as $24 a piece in section 141, which is behind the end zone, but it's $24 in row 20.
You know, that's pretty cool. Take advantage of that because we need it here in San Antonio. Let's support our team. But you know what's pretty cool? That the NFL will watch this, all joking aside. They're going to watch this league. And one of the things that the XFL is going to do, you guys are going to watch it. They went out and they viewed all these kickoffs. And what they're going to be doing is they're going to be moving all the action that occurs on a kickoff. It's done once the ball's been kicked off 30 yards later. So what they're going to do is they're actually going to start both teams there. So when they do the kickoff, there's going to be quicker contact, okay, sooner contact, and the availability for the ball to be returned. They want to see more action.
Yeah, and the sooner contact will reduce the likelihood of injury.
Yes.
And that's the reason for why we have the NFL rules. And I heard a really good discussion about what the NFL doesn't like. The NFL doesn't like things that are humdrum. It's the same consistency. It happens the same way every time. One of the reasons why they pushed the point after attempt backwards, one of the reasons why they did the kickoff the way they were, and one of the reasons why the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback sneak is probably going to be outlawed for next season.
Yes.
Is what a lot of people are talking about.
I heard that. And one of the things is, you're right. They need to look at that because with the XFL, I'm going to make sure I watch a couple of games. But one of the things that they're going to be talking about is you can go for a 1 point kick, 2 points, or there's also a possibility that they put in there where you can go for 3 points. So making scoring better, faster, more opportunities is a good thing. So let's see what the NFL talks about and what we come up with next year. So we'll see what changes.
Yeah,
So,
go XFL in like 6 or 8 weeks. We go from the XFL to the USFL and more football.
More football. There's nothing wrong with more football.
No, though I kind of wish the XFL had like waited a week. I need a week to decompress.
Oh, gotcha. Mm-hmm. Okay. A week, maybe 2 days.
A week, maybe 2 days.
One of the things I did want to bring up today was on the way in, I heard on the radio we lost baseball great Tim McIver, 81 years old. He was a catcher for the St. Louis Cardinals, and he also went into broadcasting. I love the guy. I always loved watching the games that he did. He did a couple of World Series. I know he had like a little issue at one time. Rest in peace, sir. But with Deion Sanders, remember that when Deion grabbed the water and poured it over them? You know, that's one of the things that he always spoke his mind, regardless if, you know, as far as if his opinion wasn't viewed to be the right opinion, but he gave it. And that's what I think that he stood for. Class act, rest in peace.
Yeah.
We did lose him today. So
yeah, we also lost Raquel Welch earlier.
I saw that. Yeah. That's a beauty there.
Yep.
Yeah, rest in peace. So it comes in 3. We'll see what happens next.
Yeah.
So we'll see that.
And anything else on your sports plate as we transition out of this? Big going into college basketball, March Madness.
No, the only thing is you can tell by my cap, Mavericks made a trade, and my only thing with that is, yeah, stop, Bob. Oh God, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Let's let this thing play out for a couple of months. Hopefully it works out. So we'll see what happens with the NBA and with the Mavericks in that trade.
I've been telling everybody that the Hasidic Jews needed to get rid of the anti-Semite and traded him to the skinheads in Dallas.
As soon as I saw that trade and hit my phone, I thought, no, they didn't. No, they did. No, they didn't. They did.
What's so crazy about it is if all of the off-field drama or the off-court drama could just go away and he could play ball, he's a great addition.
Yeah.
It's all the other stuff. And, you know, we'll see with all the other stuff happening in the NBA. I mean, that trade deadline was crazy.
Oh, it made some good teams better. I mean, Phoenix got better. Even the Lakers got better. The Lakers got better. Phoenix got better. Mavericks, we'll see. I think they got better.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. It'll be interesting.
Daytona 500 this weekend. Can I interest you in turning left?
I think I'm going to probably try to catch the XFL. Well, it was a great season for the NFL. We're excited. Great game. I'm glad it ended the way it did. So it was pretty exciting. I don't have anything else. What about you, Bob?
No, I'm pretty there. It's always weird this time of season as we come out of Super Bowl. It's like what's next, and it's a lull as you get into the back end of February before you really get to March Madness for basketball, and then NBA really only starts to interest me. I start to pay attention to it like April. I'll watch a little bit more hockey. On hockey, I'm a little dismayed. Ovechkin, on his quest for Wayne Gretzky, has been granted a leave of absence from the team for an indeterminate amount of time to deal with some family issues.
His father passed away, or is passing away.
Yeah, which is crazy because I don't know how you get to travel to Russia.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I guess he can ask Brittany.
Well, Brittany was trying to go the other way.
The other way. Yeah, we'll see. I just hope for the best for him, and takes care of his family, makes it back safely.
I want to see him. I want to see him break Gretzky's record.
That'll be pretty cool. Yeah,
I really do.
Yeah. So
yeah, and there was some other records, talking about records from the Super Bowl. The longest punt return in Super Bowl history. Mm-hmm. That was a great play.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great play.
Yeah, it was.
That was a turning point.
It was a great game. I really was excited that it turned out to be what it was. So, yeah, great game for everybody.
Yep. I hope you all enjoyed the Super Bowl. We don't get another one for a year.
Yeah, not until next year. Second week of February. They should consider about moving President's Day up a week and keeping the Super Bowl on that Sunday. Everybody be off on that Monday.
Yeah,
that'd be good.
I did hear somebody speculate on that, talking about that, and he doesn't think it'll happen. Really? Because the NFL, one of the reasons why the NFL doesn't start on Labor Day is the NFL has found out nobody watches football on Labor Day. They're all off doing other things. So their feeling is you get the middle of February, that 3-day weekend becomes a 4-day weekend. You take that Friday off. So are they going to get all the eyeballs that they want? Because it's all about eyeballs for the NFL. And they don't think they can, which then makes me start thinking we're never going to get an 18-game season then, because you can't do that unless you took just 1 week between the end of the conference championship and the Super Bowl, which I don't think we're going to do.
They need to take that week out.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. I mean, I like watching the line go up and down for 2 weeks.
The reason for it is because I think they need to do something with the Pro Bowl. That doesn't work. So come up with something different. I'll be okay with it.
You didn't like dodgeball? No. Okay. Hey, the 5 rules, the 5 pillars of dodgeball?
No.
Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
Yes, there you go. And make sure you can miss the wrench.
Thank you, Patches.
Oh, that's funny. Well, it was great. I appreciate it. Thanks for another great show. And again, where can they follow us?
On the YouTube, the not the Twitter. We don't have a Twitter, though we do have a Twitter. No, on the YouTube, on the RSS. Get the link there. Find it in Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, wherever your quality podcasts are.
Great. And next week we should have Drew back,
or we're gonna have to bring somebody in. I have a crazy person I might bring in.
Crazy person.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Yeah. And now that I've said that, he's not going to come on.
Well, it was great. Thanks for another great show. Great week. You guys stay safe out there.
You as well. Bye-bye.